I didn't think I was going to go as deeply into the Fort Lee High School athletic archival as I have. It just seemed to take on a life of its own as I saw and remembered so many highlights from a time long past. As a result, the project has reached a scale that calls for a dedication. Reflection upon who it should be, I decided required not one but two people from my high school years who affected my love for sport in general, and basketball in particular, more than any others. They were one a player, Kenny Snyder, the other a coach, John Mardy. Some of you from that time may remember the place known as Kenny's Court, built by Kenny Snyder on a road leading down to Route 4. The court was the perfect design for 3-on-3 basketball. The posts supporting the backboard were set about 4 feet behind the backboard, enabling a kamikaze drive to the basket without getting your body rearranged by crashing into it. If you were into basketball, it was the place to be, and great players from all over the county came there to hone their skills. The games were decided by 11 points, each basket counting as one, and you had to win by 2. The rule was winners out after a basket was scored, which meant it was extremely difficult to unseat a team that had been grooved after winning a few games. I don't care who or how good the challengers were, if you were defending and developed a hot hand, you were just about unbeatable, and you played until you dropped. That is where I learned to play, and Ken, a great player, was always there to inspire and help me get the hang of it. As great and as admired as he was, Kenny was and still is a humble gentleman who never let his name or reputation go to his head. How good was he? John Mardy often said, "He's the best I ever coached." As a junior, Ken led his team to the state championship in 1949. John Mardy had the oxymoronic reputation of a man's man who at the same time appreciated and in fact taught art appreciation. The thing about John Mardy was you wanted more than anything to win his approval. Mr. Mardy could lose his temper and berate you, but even so you knew he loved the game of basketball, and above all, he loved his players. He was also a technical master of the sport of basketball. He introduced the give and go, an offensive scheme that was the downfall of most opponents who played man-to-man defense against us. This was especially true in state tournaments against teams totally unfamiliar with its components. He was the best coach I ever played for, strategically and inspirationally. One final note. I believe one of the reasons John Mardy always expressed his admiration for Kenny Snyder was the coach's other passion, art. There is no question Kenny Snyder turned the game of basketball into an art form. His moves were graceful and fluid, and the way he delivered the hook shot was so elegant it always reminded me of the smooth golf swing that belonged to Julius Burroughs. Those who are familiar with it know what I'm talking about. Kenny's game was, as you might expect, also highly productive, and it came with a style that was uniquely and classically his. Kenny was at the reunion, and he, Mike Villano, Ed Goldberg, and I had dinner together the night before. Ed never knew or met Kenny. He later said to me, "He is a real gentleman." Ed got it right. Above all, Kenny Snyder is that, and always has been. Jim Carlstead, class of 1956.